Welcome to a new video here on our YouTube channel. This is the BRIO Beardscape V2. We've tested this beard trimmer and body groomer for you, and you can see all our findings in this video, so just stick around. Let's get started. Alright, let's dive into the BRIO Beardscape, but before we get to the practical test, let's take a look at some basic info first. Let's start with the battery. Here, the battery life depends on the so-called RPM. That means how fast the beard trimmer's blade moves. With the Beardscape, you can adjust this setting across several levels, which in itself is a standout feature of this trimmer. But that's not all. The battery life remains relatively long even at high RPMs. At 7,000 RPMs, it's still a full 180 minutes. At 5,000 RPMs, it's even 240 minutes. The battery life and the adjustable blade speed are therefore two key features of this trimmer that stand out positively. The charging time is around 3 hours, which is about average. This trimmer features a well-designed display that shows a charging indicator when the trimmer is plugged in, as well as a battery level indicator so you know how many minutes of trimming time you have left before the device runs out of power. In addition, you can see the selected RPM setting, which you can easily adjust using two buttons, and you can also view the length settings without comb attachment. The available settings are 1.0 mm, 1.3 mm, 1.6 mm, and 1.9 mm. If you add the comb attachments mentioned above, you can naturally achieve even more. Here, the length goes up to 18 millimeters. To help you find the right combination of trimmer setting and comb attachment, BRIO has included a guide. This is indeed very helpful in keeping things straight. Adjusting the length on the trimmer is generally easy. There's a slider with a small button for this purpose. Unfortunately, the slider is relatively stiff when moving in one direction. That could have been a bit better, but with a little effort, it works. Then we have a few more features. First, there's a ceramic blade, and second, there's a travel lock. Just hold the button down for a few seconds, and the device won't accidentally turn on in your suitcase anymore. And then, of course, there's what's included in the package. Included are the trimmer itself, a charging station, and a USB charging cable. We also get a cleaning brush, some oil, and a total of 5 comb attachments. And of course, the paperwork is included as well. What makes the BRIO unique is that when you order the trimmer, you can add on additional packages to this basic set. For example, there's the snap blade with various attachments, the zero blade for close to the skin trimming, or the body blade for grooming. By the way, if you're interested in the product, take a look at the description below the video. We've linked it there for you. And now let's get down to the essentials, our practical test. Let's start with the handling. Overall, the device makes a good impression in this regard. It feels comfortable and secure in the hand. The blades are easy to change. The comb attachments snap into place without any issues. And aside from the slightly stiff slider, we didn't notice any drawbacks here. We were also pleasantly surprised by the noise level of this trimmer. Even at the highest RPM setting, it stays well below 60 decibels. At the lowest setting, it's just over 50 decibels. Since you're working on your face with a beard trimmer like this and can get quite close to your ears, that's definitely a plus. Okay, let's get started with trimming. I used my usual settings, a total cutting length of 5 millimeters while using a comb attachment. I started at the lowest RPM setting. I was very happy with the results. The cut was clean and even, and what really stood out to me was that the comb attachment glides very smoothly and comfortably over the skin and picks up the hair well. If you set it to 7,000 revolutions per minute, you get even more power, and the trimmer glides through the beard even more smoothly. But for normal beard growth, I don't think you need that at all. You can just stay on a low setting. Bottom line, trimming with the comb attachments works very well. But what about contouring, or if you want to work with the bare blade? For that, I set the standard blade to 1 millimeter and just gave it a try. The result was pretty good for a trimmer, but at 1 millimeter, it wasn't quite as close to the skin. The standard blade also nicked a bit here and there. It worked better with the zero blade. With this one, you can go a bit lower with the cutting length, and it works even better for close to the skin trimming. It doesn't get quite as close as a wet shave, though. You can still see some stubble here and there. If you want to trim your body hair, you should order the body blade as well. But please be careful, it's still a blade, and you can cut yourself with it. That's why the body blade doesn't go quite as short as some other trimmers. I'd even say that, if in doubt, you should use a comb attachment. Of course, the hair will be a bit longer then, but better safe than sorry. Ultimately, though, it worked well even with the comb attachment. Overall, we were very satisfied with the Beardscape's trimming performance. However, we do have a slight issue with how the trimmer is cleaned. The instructions specify that you shouldn't use water, but rather the brush that comes with it. In principle, that's fine, but Being able to at least rinse the blade under running water would make cleaning a bit easier. So, we find it a bit of a pity that this isn't an option. Let's get to the conclusion. The BRIO Beardscape beard trimmer is by no means a cheap trimmer. Ultimately, though, you get a good device in return. I didn't like the stiff slider, and I certainly would have liked to see a built-in precision trimmer. Ultimately, though, that's just nitpicking. In fact, with its long battery life, adjustable blade speed, and excellent trimming and cutting results, the trimmer is truly compelling. And considering the packaging and what's included, the trimmer would also make a great gift. With that in mind, if you're interested in the product, take a look at the description below the video. We've included a link to the device there for you. And if you're still unsure which trimmer is best for you, please check out this video. We've compared several devices in it, and I'm sure you'll find the right one there.